Thanks, Dave. I'm so excited to be joining the Onshape family, and I'm also super excited to announce the winners of our first ever Onshape design competition. Now, before I jump in, I want to be sure we give a shout out to one of our users, Eduardo Magdalena. It was Eduardo who actually suggested we held this competition in the first place. As of about 1 month ago, we weren't planning on holding a design contest in conjunction with Onshape Live. Then, in a post on the forum, Eduardo asked if we'd be running a competition. Truth be told, our first thought was, why didn't we think of this ourselves? So, we mobilized our team to bring to you our first ever Onshape design competition, where you could show off your CAD skills for the chance to win some great prizes. Big thank you to Eduardo for the great idea. It's one of the things we love most of our Onshape community. Before we jump into the winners, let me start by first giving you a little bit of context around the competition. This year's challenge was aptly focused on working from home, and participants were given a simple scenario. After finding a box of spare parts at the office, you decide to take them home and use them to reimagine your home office setup. Essentially, contestants were tasked with this challenge. With the included components and some added innovation, what can you create with Onshape? As an individual or as a team, to make working from home a little easier, a little more efficient, or a little bit more exciting. The box of spare parts had everything contestants needed to create a robotic arm, minus the end effector. And of course, it was up to individuals and teams to determine what function the robot would perform as part of their home office system. The challenge was comprised of 3 basic elements. First, assemble the basic robot arm system from the box and attach it to the desk. Second, design a new end effector for the robot arm. Third, model the elements of your work-from-home setup that your robot will interact with and show how they all work together. And lastly, there is one additional requirement. Participants only had a window of 3 hours in which to complete these 3 tasks. From the day the competition opened until the final submission deadline a week later, more than 400 people, a mix of professional engineers, hobbyists, makers, educators, and students from around the world had thrown their hats in the ring. In the end, we received 80 submissions from about 200 participants. These included 48 team submissions where each team could include up to 5 people, and 32 individual submissions. The submitting participants represent 20 different countries worldwide and have more than 20,000 hours of combined Onshape experience that they brought to bear in the competition. They used that experience to create 680 different part studios and 518 assemblies. For some additional fun, check out these numbers. There were 219 total documents involved, with 1,417 tabs. In the submission documents, there were 1,327 natively designed parts, 473 total in-context features, and 6,236 total features. And those are just the numbers for the documents that were submitted. Contestants submitted a wide variety of concepts, ranging from a plant watering system to a cold beverage service system. Judges from the Onshape team narrowed those submissions down to 3 winning designs, and we scored submissions based on criteria such as complexity of parts and assemblies, kinematics of the robot assembly, and the uniqueness of the design concept and function. As one of the judges myself, I loved seeing the variety of designs and how participants leveraged Onshape's unique features to reimagine the traditional home office setup. So, without further ado, let's look at some of our top 3 submissions. Coming in 3rd place is Group A Share Horizons Club from Spain with Enrique, Jose, David, Marti, and Ivan. These 5 are active on YouTube with the Share Horizons channel, where they share short videos about 3D printing, design, and more. For their design, they chose to create a robotic hand as the end effector for their robotic arm. Their overall design was intended to alleviate some of the emotional stress that comes from working from home, since, as they put it, sometimes we need a pat on the back in hard times, sometimes we need a handshake when we do it right, and if we get distracted looking at our phones, we may need a slap on the cheek. And their system is designed to do all of that. There were a few things that stood out about this particular design. First, the team was able to design the dummy, the chair, and the office backdrop, all in the competition document during the 3-hour period. They were one of the only groups that took the time to add a cover to the linear actuator system. But perhaps the most impressive part of the design was the robotic hand. The fingers consist of a 4-bar linkage and actuator to create motion that mimics fingers closing around an object. And for the fingertips, they used the Lighten custom feature. All impressive features in such short period of time. Felicidades a Enrique, Josema, David, Martí e Iván de Share Horizons Club por su excelente diseño. As third-place winners, you will each receive an Amazon gift card for the amount of $100, plus vouchers for Onshape certification exams and some great swag. And to all our audience out there, please check out Share Horizons' YouTube channel for more of their great content. Next up, coming in at second place, we have Team EWCP with Marshall, Ty, Nick, Max, and James. As it turns out, Team EWCP is a group of FIRST Robotics mentors. We're thrilled to know that you're helping students in this way, guys. Professional engineers during the day and mentors all your spare time. As for their submission, Team EWCP designed a system to easily handle a spray bottle for watering your plants, your cats, your whiteboard, and even you. It sprays, it spritzes, it showers your work-from-home environment so everything stays hydrated in the dry heat of those miserable quarantine summers. As you can see, the team modeled a beautiful office space, complete with a couch and a cat tree. They also show off their FIRST Robotics components, including a 2020 robot. Their end effector was designed in a single-part studio, applying top-down design methods. They also used the Spur Gear custom feature. Throughout their design process, they utilized versions to keep track of their progress, including one version called Can't Find a Cat Model. Fortunately, they eventually were able to find a cat model. Congratulations to Team EWCP. As second-place winners, you will each receive an Amazon gift card for the amount of $250, plus certification, and of course, some Onshape swag. And now, for the moment we've all been waiting for, the winner of the first ever Onshape design competition is Alnist, Evan, and Michael, so named for their team members, with the Raptor 6D haptic input, a design intended to lower the barrier of entry to 3D input devices. This design immediately catches your eye with the impressive office space, but even more impressive is the robotic arm system they created. Rather than using the robotic arm as a manipulator, they took the unique path of using the arm as an input device. It is intended to behave like a joystick or space mouse to help the user better manipulate the 3D space. Their end effector is a haptic interface with programmable buttons, and they used a drawing to show off how this haptic interface works. In their work-from-home environment, you can see the system in action. As you manipulate the robot arm system, the Cybertruck on the monitor is also manipulated. During the competition period, they modeled the Cybertruck by inserting a picture of the truck into their document to use as a reference. To show off some of the versatility of their design, they set configurations and name views to show the arm and table movement. Since they were collaborating as a team, they utilized versions to keep track of their work and branches to try different designs. The team ended up creating 13 versions during the 3 hours and merged 2 branches into their design. Now, what we love about this team is that we got pros and students working together, And I'm betting they met through one of our Onshape user groups, which is exactly the kind of connection we want to see happening in our Onshape community. Great work, guys! As first place winners, Honest, Evan, and Michael will each receive a $500 Amazon gift card, certification vouchers, Onshape swag, and the most notable, induction into the Onshape Competition Hall of Fame, the first to receive the honor. To commemorate this, the winners will also receive their custom championship belt. Congratulations to Honest, Evan, and Michael for their one-of-a-kind, outside-the-box design, and congratulations to our second and third place winners. Be sure to watch your email in the next couple of days for details on claiming your prizes. Lastly, a big thank you to all our participants. We love seeing our members of the Onshape community from across the spectrum, professionals, hobbyists, makers, educators, students, and everything in between, come together to have some fun. We hope you had a great time competing and will join us next year for round 2 of the Onshape design competition. And with that, I'll hand it back to you, Dave.